Hi everybody, I'm Jonathan, and welcome to a special unboxing and review. And what's so special about this? This is Skelegod. You've probably seen a lot of reviews of him so far. Well, this is special because this is my second Skelegod I've gotten. The first one didn't quite make it. So what happened was I was recording an unboxing and review, and I was testing the articulation, and this shoulder right here got really stuck. And I kept trying to bend it and bend it and bend it and make it bend, and then the arm broke off right there at the shoulder. It didn't fall completely off in the video, but you could see that it was torn through about 90% of the way, and then maybe a day after the video, it fell off completely. So what I did was I reached out to Mattel on Twitter, and what they did was pretty awesome. What they did was they asked where I got the figure from and how much I paid for it. And then they just sent me a check for that amount to help me get the figure again, which they were going to send me the figure, but they didn't have any in stock. So I was able to rebuy it. And we're going to take a look at it. We're going to open it up, take it out, test the articulation, of course, and give this guy a second shot, because completely honestly, when I was handling this guy for the first time, I was just taken aback at how cool he was. And I was so excited, and I was like, this is such a great figure. And then the shoulder thing happened, and it really, really, really did hurt my morale for a little bit, because it was just such an obvious quality control problem that it slipped through really disappointed and kind of upset me. But we're going to open this guy, we're going to take a look at him, and we're going to see if this one's any better, and hopefully it's not going to be something that's consistent in the line. It was just a fluke with this one little guy here. But we're going to get him open, and we're going to take a look. I mean, this guy looks awesome, doesn't he? I cannot be alone in thinking that Skelegod just looks just amazing. It might be better than the version of Skelegod we got in the Masters of the Universe movie. And I know that that's a pretty derided movie, but Frank Langella was friggin' perfect as Skeletor, and he's probably my favorite take on Skeletor ever, and I really liked that Skelegod in the movie. But this is such a toyetic version of the horns, the shoulder pads, the gauntlets. Everything is just super detailed, and hopefully when we get him out of the package, it's going to be super articulated and movable too. So let's go ahead and start taking stuff out. This is going to be pretty easy. We're going to start with his power thing of light and stuff, and we'll pop out the power sword here. I do have an extra power sword now, so that's nice. Pop that down. We can probably give one to He-Man, because my He-Man one's a little bent. And let's pop out his hands here, which we usually do first. Ooh, they're in there. Whoa. And, alright, so the hands came out pretty easy. Pretty detailed. I like the way these things look, the way the claws and the gauntlets kind of curl around. You've got all the ridges on them. Just really wicked. The ridges feel a little sharp for what they are. Really neat. Drop that down right there. Also, you'll notice he's got the clawed feet like the OG Skeletor and the Revelation Skeletor. Okay, what he is tied in here with, it looks like, are plastic ties. And his cape is through a hole. Yeah, so you've got the plastic ties here and then on his feet as well. So I'm going to get him out of the package, and I'll be right back. Quick note, he did have the plastic ties also around his wrist, but they were pretty easy to break off. The plastic ties they use today in toys are so much more pliable than the ones they used when I was a kid. The ones they used when I was a kid, they could break the toy trying to pull it out of the package. So you can see all the detail in him. It's just really cool. He's got some really great detail on the horns with the variations and the ridges. His head is kind of floating on this fire that's coming out of his neck socket. He's got these amazing shoulder pads that kind of look like they might be beetles or something from Diablo 3. Same thing with the gauntlets. They kind of got a little face quality to them, kind of a Sauron look to them. And the gauntlets are removable as well, as you can see on the Skelegod back here. I've taken all of his extra accessories off. And that's as far as he can come apart. Like, you can't remove the arms from their sockets or the legs or anything like that without major changes or heating it up or something like that. So keep that in mind if modular is important to you. He's got the cool loincloth, again, with another face, and the not-so-subtle thing here. Ooh, nice dry brushing there on the back. I dig that. Knee pads, same thing. The greaves have got the faces on them, kind of a theme throughout the Skelegod here. Is he's got all these faces, but he doesn't have an actual face. He's just got a skeleton. It's kind of a fun little play. The cape is amazing. This is one of my favorite soft good capes. Now, it is true that the fabric itself isn't that great, high of quality, but the design of the cape is so sick. It's like this 3-layered thing where you get this bottom layer that's super long, you get this middle layer of these two like diamond tassel things hanging at the bottom, and then this little flare at the top. That's pretty friggin' sweet. I dig that quite a bit. But now let's start the real test. First, his head. Pretty good. You can't really tilt it very much because of both the neck and the horns. This pushes here and it kind of pushes up against the fire graphic there. Kind of tilts up and down. He can move side to side pretty easy though. That's pretty easy, and it's not too stiff. It's not too loose. It's pretty solid. Elbow, left elbow's good. Right elbow is a little stiff but still really good. Excellent wrists. Looks like good wrists. Shoulders. Oh no. You've got to be kidding me. This must be something with Skelegods, because this shoulder's stuck. Now it's the left shoulder that's stuck. And if I bring this one over, it goes down just fine. So it's not the design of the figure that's causing this, and there's nothing underneath here that would keep it from going down. It's the joint itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this, I'm going to take his head off and the shoulder pads and cape off and see if I can work it loose, and if I can't, that's really going to affect this review. Okay, so I have worked this joint every way that I can without breaking the arm like I did last time. I've even put some WD-40 in there to try and loosen it up a bit to get it to go down a little bit further, but the furthest it'll go down is right there. And you can see on this right side, it goes down much further, much smoother. And on this one, the left arm goes down almost completely, just like the right one on this one. So this is a huge difference. Oh, there's a big difference in their paint as well. Wow. Like, look how solid the paint is on this one and how kind of not. It's almost not there on this one. That is weird. Like, was the machine running low on this day, or did they accidentally apply too much on this day? His entire coloration is really different. Look at his legs. He's got a dark patch there on his knee. Man, that is so bizarre. I wonder why that is. I mean, it really is night and day. At first, I thought it was just the camera, but when I look away. Yeah, that's stark. Like, that is stark. All right, so let's review the rest of him so we can say we've done it. Oh, I dropped my hand. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get him posed up here just because this is all I'm going to be able to use this guy for is just to pose him. I won't be able to use him in any future storytelling because of the arm problem. If I try to bend it, it will break. So I'm going to get this guy put back together. And here we see Skelegod in all of his glory with the power sword and his little fireball thing here. And you can see the coloration on both of these is very different. And that this figure isn't something, either there was a running change in how they painted him or the quality control just fell off really badly at some point. And I don't know where it was because I'm not sure exactly what this character should look like now. I'm leaning towards this because I feel like he still had that kind of cartoonish to him, because that was one of the things I loved about Revelation. It had this kind of serious tone, but it still had a lot of the goofiness of the Filmation series. Even with Skelegod being as incredibly badass as he was, still had a kind of a goofy streak in there when he was, put under the gun and put under pressure and didn't think he might win automatically. He was like, oh, he was a little bumbly. So he still had that characteristic about him. Unfortunately, this is a total quality control fail, though. This is the first time I've ever done this. I cannot recommend this figure in good conscience, given that this is the second one I've had in which the arm articulation is completely shot. I put WD-40 in the joint, like into the cracks of the joint, and I let it settle in, and I worked it in and stuff, and it's still just stuck at that level, at that angle, and it won't go down any further. And what'll happen is if I try to force it, the arm's just going to break off right there because they're just not that solid of joints. The plastic is a little bit cheaper than maybe it should be in terms of these joint areas, and that's just really sad because this is a really, really, really cool figure. But they have just failed 2 times now to get this right, and that's a big problem. And I hope it's something that doesn't plague the line going forward. And it breaks my heart to be saying this because oh god, I love the detail, I love the design, I love everything except the quality control problems. But those are big issues. This is a $30 figure, and I don't have a boatload of money to spend on stuff like this. So I really want it to to work the way it's designed to, basically. But yeah. That's unfortunately, that's the verdict for this one. I cannot recommend Skelegod, but I want you to keep collecting the way you like to collect, whether that's keeping your figures mock, whether that's opening them for display or for play. However you like to do it's the right way to do it, and don't let anybody else tell you anything differently or tell them you're going to break their arm off like I did Skelegod. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, maybe subscribe, help out the channel. My goal is to get to 250 subscribers by the end of 2022, and I hope you can help me do it. Until next time, I'm John Finn, and I'm out.